This video will help show you how to pack your old IMA battery for return shipping to Bumblebee Batteries. When you received your battery from Bumblebee, it came packed with a total of 6 pieces of foam. Leave the thinner, larger pieces in the box while reserving the thicker pieces to place on the battery. Here's a closer view of the 3 thicker pieces. It's easiest to prepare the battery for shipping by working on a sturdy table. You'll also want something to elevate the battery above the surface of the table, like some scrap wood or a heavy book. Before packing, make sure the battery switch is in the off position. To ensure the switch remains in the off position during packing and transit, tape the switch in place. We call the side with all the connectors the junction board. The side opposite to the junction board is flat. We will place this side down towards the table. Position whatever you'll use to elevate the battery, then lift the battery into place. Make sure the battery is in a tall orientation with the flat side facing down. Finally, near the junction board is a large gray plug. Detach it from the metal tab. If the plug is left on the metal tab, it can be harmed during shipping. Now we're ready to add the foam pieces to the battery. Start with the largest of the 3 thick pieces. You'll notice that it has a notch in one of its corners. That notch goes underneath the multicolored wire strand and slides between the 2 pieces of plastic. Push the rest of the foam into place against the surface. There are some plastic tabs on the edge that might hold the foam away, so make sure to fully seat the foam behind the tabs. Next, work on the side with the shorter mounting legs. Take the smaller rectangular piece of foam and simply slide it into place between the legs. Finally, work on the side with the longer mounting legs. Use the piece with the extra strip of foam on it. Slide the foam between the legs and make sure the extra strip of foam is aligned with the mounting legs. We're now ready to wrap the battery. Grab the bubble wrap from the original packaging and apply a long strip of packing tape to one end of the bubble wrap so we can attach it to the battery. Tape the bubble wrap to the side of the battery without packing foam on it. Notice that the bubble wrap will go beyond the edges of the battery. That's a good thing. Try to place the bubble wrap so that both ends of the battery have roughly the same amount of overlap. This overlap protects the edges of the battery, so it's important to make sure both ends get some. Now begin to wrap the battery. This is where having a table and a little elevation for the battery really comes in handy. You can just walk the bubble wrap around the battery. Make sure to wrap the battery tightly, but be careful not to pull too much. There are perforations in the bubble wrap, and if you pull too hard, the bubble wrap will separate on those perforations. Once you've used all of it, hold the end of the bubble wrap in place with some tape, then securely lock the bubble wrap down with long strips of packing tape. The original packing came with 2 end caps of bubble wrap. One has 2 layers, while the other end cap has 3 layers. Use the thicker end cap to cover the junction board. Place the end cap over the junction board, then tuck all the edges under the larger roll of bubble wrap. Once the end cap is correctly positioned, use packing tape to secure it in place. Lift the battery and place it on the side that has no packing foam. When lifting, be careful to lift the battery and not the bubble wrap, which will simply slide off. Now you can put the thinner end cap in place. Like last time, tuck it in the tube of bubble wrap, then use packing tape to firmly secure it. Because this end of the battery is flat, this end cap can be a little harder to secure. Feel free to use plenty of tape to keep it in place. Your battery is now ready for boxing. Leave the largest piece of packing foam at the bottom of the box, but set the other 2 aside for now. Place the battery in the center of the box. Remember, it's quite heavy, so be careful and try to use a helper for this part. Slide the final 2 pieces of packing foam in so that they go against the junction board and its opposite end. That's where the bubble wrap end caps are. If you have any extra packing material on hand, like styrofoam peanuts, feel free to stuff the box with it to guarantee a tight fit and to compensate for any popped bubbles. Tear off the old shipping label, but don't put the new one on just yet. You might also want to clean up the torn plastic with a knife. The box is now ready to be closed. The battery will push against the lid somewhat, so make sure to hold the lid closed while you're taping the box. It can help to hold each lid side down with a strip of tape. Whatever you do, please make sure that you use plenty of tape to keep the box shut during shipping with the battery safely inside. Now that the box is closed up, you're ready to use the shipping label that came with your new battery. Begin by sealing the plastic pouch closed. Remove the wax paper from the back of the shipping label, then apply it to your box. You're now ready to ship. You can call FedEx for a pickup or toss the battery in the back of your favorite car and take it to an authorized shipping center. If you take it somewhere other than a FedEx store, make sure to call in advance to confirm that they can take large ground packages. Thanks for purchasing a Bumblebee battery, and we wish you many miles of happy driving with your new battery.